A lot of sales managers come up to us and ask us, what is the best way to manage a sales force? Now we sort of understand the reason why this is the case, because one of the ways by which an organization can increase its top line is by investing in salespeople. But at the same time, the same salespeople can be very, very expensive in terms of their costs that you have to pay for them, as well as the costs that they incur in making the sale. So what we do when we advise companies is to provide a framework that has been put forth by two faculty members at Northwestern University in Chicago. And this framework mainly focuses on how can we improve the efficiency and the effectiveness of the sales organization. Efficiency has got to do with cost implications, and effectiveness has got to do with top line and revenue growth. So the way they look at it is they say, for a company to be successful, the customers need to be successful. Now, there are various factors which go beyond the control of a sales manager, things that happen within the firm in terms of its product strategies, the finance strategies, the supply chain strategies, and things happening in the environment in terms of the economic conditions, the growth rates, the GDPs of different countries, the macroeconomic situations and all that. So what are the things that a sales manager can control? Well, the first thing they can do is they can control the activities that the salespeople do to help the customers on a daily basis. But if you need the salespeople to be performing these activities, you need to have the right kind of salespeople who can perform these activities. But if you need the right kind of salespeople, then you need to make sure that you have the right kind of structure in place, making sure that you have the right kind of roles that you envisage for your salespeople. And in order to manage this, there are 5 sets of drivers that have been identified. They've been defined as definers, shapers, exciters, enlighteners, and controllers. Definers are the most important driver that has got to do with a sales manager taking the time and effort to come up with understanding what kind of segments are present in the market, based on the different segments of customers, linking it to the kind of offering that they want to provide to these segments of customers. And based on this linkage, you will see that there are various sales processes linked to the different kind of offering. You could have a very simple sales process, or you could have a very complicated sales process putting a lot of demands on the job. Now, once they've defined it, the next thing that a sales manager has to take into account is the shapers. How do we shape, recruit, train the right kind of salespeople and coach them? Once they do this, the next thing they have to do is keep the people excited by means of the correct job descriptions, providing with the right kind of compensation, leadership, and coaching. Followed by enlighteners, which is about trying to provide your salespeople with the tools necessary for them to be successful. And last but not the least, the sales managers have to make sure that at the end of every cycle, they go back and measure the performance of the salespeople, and this is done by your controllers. Now, if a sales manager has a luxury of starting everything from scratch, they can make sure that they can go through the implementation all the way from defining the organization all the way to the controllers. But most of the companies we work with, most of the sales managers we talk to, actually it begins from realizing that there's a problem, and in order for them to fix the problem, they have to go through a diagnosis phase, and the more deeper you dig, the more you end up in the definer module.